Hey guys, so if you've been told that you need to get dentures, you're probably wondering how much time you need to take off of work, whether you're getting a full upper and lower denture or a partial. How much time do you realistically need to take off in order for you to be healed and be back to at least somewhat normal? So how soon you can return to work is really going to depend on you and how fast your body heals, whether you're following the aftercare instructions, whether you encounter any infections after. There's all kinds of variables that can determine what the time frame is that you're looking at specifically. But I can tell you right now, you're probably not going to be feeling up to going back to work the next day. Even though I have gotten messages from people who did return to work the day after they got dentures. That's not my experience. That's what I looked like when I came home from getting all of my teeth extracted and immediate dentures put in their place. I was warned that there could be swelling. I did not know that that's the kind of swelling that I could expect. I've gotten pictures from people on day one of having extractions. If they had swelling, it was something that only they could see. To me, they looked completely normal. Based on my experience and the averages that I see from people, I think that you can probably expect to return to work between a week and 2 weeks. 2 weeks would be ideal. So let me give you a little rundown of what my experience was in those first few weeks of having extractions and full dentures put in. So on day one of getting my extractions, they gave me lorazepam to take for anxiety and OxyContin to take an hour before the procedure. I was supposed to take the second dose when I got there, but I broke out in hives because I ended up being allergic to the OxyContin. They had to write a prescription for morphine and send my sister to get me the prescription before they would proceed. Morphine had me in the clouds. I must have fallen asleep during the procedure because I don't remember anything except waking up briefly in the chair and being told to bite down after all of the teeth were already surgically removed and the dentures were placed in my mouth. Day two was pretty much a repeat of day one. I was very tired. I slept. I didn't experience really any pain. I was no longer on morphine. I took 800 milligram ibuprofen for pain management, but the swelling was still very significant. And by day three, I became concerned. I hadn't seen anything online showing anybody swell up as bad as I did. I went to the emergency room. When I told them what I experienced, they were like, okay, well, that makes sense. Of course, you're gonna swell up pretty badly. And it just varies from person to person as to how much you're going to swell. They gave me a shot of steroids, which kind of helped. And I was just continuing to manage the swelling by placing ice packs on my cheeks. It was actually frozen peas, and that helped reduce the swelling, and the ibuprofen, which is, an anti-inflammatory medication, that also helped reduce the swelling. Within that first week, the only pain that I really experienced was just some achiness from my face being so full. I wasn't eating well within that first week. The dentures felt so big in my mouth that it was hard to even get food in there. Talking with the dentures in the first week was very challenging. If I had been working at the time, which I wasn't, I was a stay-at-home mom, I probably could have returned to work at about the week mark. No, they didn't look very pretty by that point. The swelling had kind of gone down a little bit, but the teeth looked really large in my mouth, and you could look at me and tell something was totally off. The real pain that came for me after that procedure was going into week two, because by that point, the swelling had subsided and my gums and everything started to really shrink. The dentures became loose, and as they became loose, they were moving all over the place and creating sore spots all over my mouth, to the point that I literally was only wearing the dentures just to have teeth in my mouth. I couldn't eat well with them. I couldn't talk well with them. They were very painful just putting them in. At the 2-week mark, that's typically when you're going to get what's called a reline. So today I went to get them relined, and I don't know about you guys, but I think they're looking fabulous. And with the reline, they're gonna put this stuff in the denture. They're going to fit your dentures into your mouth. I'm telling you, that was a game-changing experience for me. Not only did they look better because they were able to force the dentures back further in my mouth so they didn't look so bucked up front, it felt comfortable. It felt like they were almost molded perfectly to my gums, to where they didn't move around. It was a really nice nice experience. And because they fit so well and it helped eliminate the sore spots, I was able to speak much better. If it were me, I would want to take a full 2 weeks off just to deal with any kind of pain that you might experience after, deal with the swelling that might come with it. Bruising is another thing that happened. My cheeks turned yellow all around in this area. But I know that that's not possible for everybody. Not everybody is able to take a full 2 weeks off of work. If I were working, I think that I would have been okay to go back to work by about day 5. So if you have to take off as few days as possible, I would suggest scheduling your appointment close to the weekend. If you can only take off 3 days, you're going to want to have your surgery done on a Wednesday, and then you can use Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to heal. As long as you are going by the book with your aftercare, then by day 5, you should be okay to return to work. I would highly recommend telling your superior what you're going to be experiencing, because if the concern is that you're going to be taking off all this time to go get some dental work done, if they know that you're getting all of your teeth extracted and getting dentures, I imagine they're going to be a lot more empathetic. If that's a concern of yours and you don't want to share that, you absolutely can just say, I'm getting extensive dental work. And if they prod for more information and say, well, what exactly did you get done? Like me personally, with my personality, I would tell them. But if I didn't want to tell them, then I just laugh it off and be like, I don't even want to talk about it. It was crazy. And just leave it at that. That communicates very effectively that we're not going there. This is not open for discussion. Like, I just went through some crazy stuff and I'm not trying to talk about it. The nice thing is that masks are pretty common right now. If you are still not at that point where you have had your reline and had all of the adjustments made and they don't look as good, they don't fit as good, you're not talking as well, just put a mask on. People are going to expect that if you had extensive dental work done, that your speech is not going to be perfect. I mean, that's the case when you get braces and things like that. So as long as your coworkers know that you had a lot of dental work done, you don't have to get specific with it. They'll completely understand. So I hope this sort of answers some of your questions. I know that that is a lot to take in. You want to make this transition as seamless as possible, and my best tips for that are just be as honest as you can, be as honest as you feel comfortable being with the people that you work with. I personally would just tell people, hey, this is what I have to get done. And when you accept that, then you'll find that other people are way more likely to accept it as well. Share in the comments below, what was it like for you when you had to take off work? Did you tell your boss what you were having done? Did you decide to keep it to yourself? How much time did you take off work? Especially if you were one of those crazy people that went back to work like the day after. Like, I get it. I totally get it. But man, I am a baby and I can't handle pain like that. I couldn't have done it. But yeah, I want to hear what your experience with returning to work after full extractions was like. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. If you know somebody that could benefit from watching it, share it. Subscribe to my channel. That's the best way to support what I'm doing on YouTube. And make sure that you hit the bell so you get all the notifications as to when I post a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Y'all take care.